With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. Mission Impossible 6 gets an official title and synopsis. That just dropped right before recording of the stream. I don't know about you, but I've been a Mission Impossible fan since 1996 when the first one came out. I've loved the reinvention of the franchise, very similar to how much I've loved the reinvention of the Fast and Furious franchise. The first movie coming across as like a French noir film, almost. Brian De Palma directing it, even going as far as having deaths of characters spoiled in the opening credits scroll of the film. I mean, that was something. Yay, Emilio Estevez! Oh look, Emilio Estevez is dead in the first, 3 minutes of the movie. I mean, we watch his death, it's coming, but it's there. I've never fully understood that choice or why Paramount allowed it to happen, but they did, and at the same time, I've come to peace with it. Been 22 years. But that being said, John Woo's Mission Impossible 2, making it this huge action franchise. Number 3 being more of a spy thriller with J.J. Abrams. Number 4 being more of a globe-trotting Bond-esque type adventure from Brad Bird. And then number 5 from Christopher McQuarrie, I think really kind of grounded it as being a solid action franchise, and one that Cruise just loves to do. Just loves to do them. And so he'll do these literally until he's dead, I think. And given the rate at how much he keeps injuring himself while making these movies, it's not far off. And plus, he needs a win. He needs a win. The Mummy tanked. He needs a win. Now, it says that the next chapter of the Mission Impossible series now has a title. The franchise star Tom Cruise took to Instagram this morning to announce that the highly anticipated movie is titled Mission Impossible Fallout. Cruise shared the image from the movie featuring himself hanging from a helicopter with the caption that reads, "We've upped the ante for the 6th Mission Impossible. I can't wait for you guys to see the movie." That's cool. And sadly, it's not Mission Impossible Fallout, the video game from Bethesda, because that would be so cool. Ethan Hunt traveling the wasteland, taking down Deathclaws and getting the ladies. It practically writes itself, right? That could IMF fails to stop the nuclear bomb from going off. He goes into a bunker, wakes up 5 years down the road, and it's nothing but cannibals, ghouls, and gigantic ants. You want to see it too, don't even lie. But here's an image of him on the helicopter, again, looking very similar to that shot from Mission Impossible 5, where he is literally strapped onto the plane as it took off, scene that they did, I think, 5 times or something, just to make sure they got it right. I mean, Cruise is in his 50s. He wants to make sure that right now he is doing well, that he is kicking ass and taking names for as long as he can, and I'm okay with that. So it says here that the official synopsis for Mission Impossible Fallout is: the best intentions often come back to haunt you. Mission Impossible Fallout finds Ethan Hunt and his IMF team, Alec Baldwin, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, along with some familiar allies, Rebecca Ferguson, Michelle Monaghan, in a race against time after a mission gone wrong. Henry Cavill, Angela Bassett, and Vanessa Kirby also joined the dynamic cast, with filmmaker Christopher McQuarrie returning to the helm. Now, obviously, we're missing Jeremy Renner out of this. And not Paula Poundstone. What was it? Paula Patton? Is that it? Paula Patton? Whatever. The one from Mission Impossible 4. But I like, though, Rebecca Ferguson, Michelle Monaghan. So that was a big thing, too, that I really liked. From the third movie, he was married to Michelle Monaghan. That was a big thing. They had good chemistry, worked out really well together. At the end of the fourth movie, they're divorced because of, what reasons, for being a spy. And then at the end, they're in Seattle, and he is kind of silently stalking her while sitting there drinking coffee with Ving Rhames in his one little cameo appearance, for some reason, and then looking at her from a distance. And then, of course, with the fifth movie, Rebecca Ferguson and him had a thing, and now bringing in the ex-wife, really? You're going to have a bit of a love triangle going on, very similar to to Fast and Furious 6. Yeah, 6, right? I'm trying to think of which Fast and Furious had Michelle Rodriguez come back, and then also had the whole thing with Elena. Yeah, that was number 6. I'm a fan. So I'm very curious to see how this whole thing plays out and where it goes, because I really do love the inclusion of Simon Pegg. I've always loved Ving Rhames in the role. Alec Baldwin did a good job. And these things always seem to up it. Now, we're not going to see this movie until it hits theaters July 27th, 2018, which is not too far away. It's not too far away. It's right there in the middle of summer, right there at the peak third week of July, which is essentially kind of like the end of summer, so to speak, unless something big is coming out in August, the first week of August. Usually the third, fourth week of July is the last hurrah. And so if this is taking it, then I'm okay with that. And ultimately, here's the thing. Paramount really does need a win. Paramount absolutely, positively needs a win when it comes to these movies, because if this movie doesn't do well, this is going to be it. This is going to be the final Mission Impossible movie. And maybe it's time, maybe it's time. It's the 6th movie. They never thought that over the course of 22 years, we'd get 6 films. I mean, all things considered, if you think about the fact that it's almost been 20 years since the first Fast and Furious came out, this lets you know how bad that's going to be. I mean, no, seriously, Fast and Furious, the last one, the next one comes out in 2020, and then the one after that's 2021. So full 20 years to do 10 movies. So those have put out more movies in the short amount of time than Mission Impossible. But I am very excited to see what happens next with the franchise. I've always enjoyed them. They're a lot of fun. They're a total guilty pleasure. And anything Tom Cruise can do in that regard is totally fine with me.